I couldn't make the tool stall out, and I gave it a go.
Right.
I gave it a shot. I pushed that thing into that wet, almost foot deep, like 8 inches deep of sawdust. Like it was, you pushed it, right?
A chicken, like you don't remember like you had to had
like KFC?
at the grocery store, yeah, you had
Yeah.
like I don't know, was
bucket
it
of
2.5
chicken.
gallon bucket of chicken, yeah.
And I didn't, You said chicken bucket at Ford Transit. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Is that like a farming thing?
No.
You're out there picking chickens?
No, it was something. I don't remember what I watched. Maybe it was a YouTube video or a meme or something where somebody was making fun of these exhaust tips on trucks, and they had the Ford Ranger or something like that with a
big
KFC bucket with a hole cut in the end, and that was taped on the end there.
Oh, car culture is the best. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Make Trades Great Again podcast. 5 years running, Andy and I are celebrating every day. Like right now, we're celebrating by talking about chicken buckets and Ford Rangers. Andy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Very good.
Coming off of a fun little trip last week. It was It was an honor to have you join us for your first time, our many times in. I think we're like 13, 14 times into going to the Milwaukee Tool Event. Used to be called New Tool Symposium, right?
Yeah.
New Product Symposium.
New product, yeah.
MPS. Now it's called, ready? Drum roll. It's on Andy's hat if you're watching on YouTube.
If you're watching, yep.
Pipeline. That was a lot of fun. We did a couple podcasts. Maybe by the time you're hearing this, you already watched or listened to them.
Yep.
What was your overall quick, and then we'll get into what we're really going to talk about today.
So I was obviously, following you for, you'd been there the last 14 years, like you said, or 12 years, whatever the heck it is. I kind of had some, very like minor like idea of what to expect. Right.
Yeah.
I've been to a number of trade shows, a number of events similar to this. I was mostly, I guess I don't know. Awestruck is not the word. Or impressed by the proposal or the production of it.
Yeah.
From the beginning, so from when we arrived there Wednesday evening, and started doing things. We went down to the Beehive downtown and did that event. I was impressed for sure at the Beehive. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, their corporate offices where we walked in and there's like 1,000 people clapping for us.
Right. That was pretty cool.
That was really cool. They had never done it that way. I've been in that building a handful of times. And they had brought us to that building before for previous pipeline events.
Right.
But there's like 4 or 5 floors and you're in this like rotunda kind of area.
Yeah. This massive display screen backlit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool.
And these floors overlook, like at a balcony level, each overlook this kind of open area that we're sitting down on the floor. Like we're standing on the floor level, ground level, and you look up and there's like 4 or 5 floors of people surrounding you along these balconies, like clapping. And it was like really, I mean, it's loud. It was crazy. So many people.
Yeah.
Like
it was cool.
Imagine the office memo that had to go out for that one. Like, hey, we're doing this. This is the day. And could you wear red and come out and see everybody and greet them? Like that had to be what it is. Cause those people are like just working there. Like, I don't think that was their job to do that. You know what I mean?
No, it wasn't like they hired a bunch of stand-ins to do this. It was, they were the engineering crew. They were the production crew, all the admin staff. Yeah.
It was fun. Lots of tools. Not as many as years past, but it was cool. Like your takeaway at the end, like give me one tool you thought, because we're going to go over this again sometime.
Sure.
We got videos coming out and we got podcast stuff, but like, and like I said, maybe the timing of this is going to end up after this, but anyway, you're give me one tool you walked away from there going, I want to have that.
So I would say right now there's kind of 3, and I've been thinking about this because I've gotten asked a number of times over the last week, let's say. First off, the Nexus vacuum Like that whole platform, that modular vacuum platform is freaking cool for a shop vac, right? It's not that it's a shop vac, or it's a vacuum.
Well, there's
right?
a dust collector version of it too, which is not a shop vac.
Correct. And that's what I say is with that modular platform, the possibilities with a battery powered, larger vacuum platform, it's pretty awesome. Having the dust separator or the particle separator on it, and then the option of putting on the HEPA vac, it looked like there was a number of different options there. And being like Milwaukee does, I highly doubt that this is the end of that.
Oh, it's just,
it's just kind of
just getting started.
Just getting started. Yeah. So that was one.
That was one. You said,
yep.
Oh, you had more than one. That's right. Sorry.
The nibbler. I don't know what I do with it, but it was cool.
Oh, the 18 volt. Yeah. Cause they've had the 12, which is really nice. They sent that to me a long time ago. I've used it here and there, not as much as I thought I would.
Right.
I did use it recently, the 12 volt, and this is where you would use the nibbler. And for us, in my opinion, because we don't do a lot of sheet metal or anything like that.
Sure.
But for me, I've used it. It became very, I kept it on the van for this purpose and this purpose only. So when I'm drilling holes through the side of corrugated steel, like from the, on a post frame building, pole barn, you know what I mean? Like that you're like venting for a boiler or intake,
like what it's made for.
Yeah. And so what I do is instead of always just going like to that 3 5/8 hole or that 3 1/4, depending on which materials I'm using.
Yeah.
I'll drill a smaller hole, like 1.5 inches.
Sure.
And then have drawn out my hole and then use the nibbler to get to the correct diameter. And the reason I say that is, depending on the corrugations, it can be hard and where your hole lines up. It can be hard where you might be like partially on a corrugation.
Right.
And I mean, I've been doing this long enough and I know how to run a hole saw, but I don't know how many pilot bits I've broken over the years because you're like on a wonky, irregular surface like that.
Yeah.
And it catches and things like that. And so a smaller hole and then work my way out to the right diameter. It takes a little practice though. Like admittedly, I'm not the world's best operator of a nibbler, but if you start at the slowest setting and you just go slow, it's not that hard. Plus, I think in that scenario, that exact scenario, it's the only one I've used it in, so I can't use another example. I think it's a really safe way to use it. Like it's safer than using the hole saw. Does that make sense?
Yeah. One of the things that I was like mostly impressed on the 18 volt was like seeing like, I don't know what, I think it's rated. Is it 10? I think it's a 10 gauge steel nibbler.
I think it was 16.
Or was it 16?
I think
I don't
16,
know. It was,
but you think about
thick.
how thick
that piece of stainless was crazy thick. And just the ease at which you could peel off a strip or make a complex curve in, material that was, I would say it was approaching 1/4 inch.
You could weld this stuff way easier than you could any sheet metal out there. Like this was thick.
It was thick. And it had no issue at all plowing through that. It wasn't
like
crazy
you said,
fast.
Stainless too. So like,
but it was way faster than cutting with a torch or something like that because there's no cool down time, right? There's no preheat, there's no nothing, there's no slag, there's no fire hazard. It's just
I guess outside of like a service panel and electrical distribution and whatnot, like outside of that, like you don't have any real concern about metal shavings or anything. Like it catches a shaving so freaking well. But like I bring up the electrical because that's an obvious hazard. Like you don't want to be drilling and stuff like that with live circuits connected to it. But like, because of all where the shavings could go. Sure. But the few cuts I made with it, I didn't see anything on the floor. I didn't see anything laying on the metal, like any spent material, right? Like it was captured in that. Like it's so efficient.
Well, and
it's not the first of its
cut.
kind by any means, but what's that?
And a clean cut.
Yeah, it was nice. Okay, so that was 2. What was the third one? It's hard because there are more than 3. So
there are definitely more than 3. Like I bounce out of that cutting section. The pipe cutter was super cool. Not necessarily new, but that was cool. Probably, number three goes into like and this is going to be weird because I don't feel that it's a tool, but I was maybe most impressed with that Bolt hard hat, the helmet.
Yeah. Well, you don't wear a hard hat a lot.
I don't, mostly
Not
because
these.
they're uncomfortable as hell.
They
But
were. You guys listen. If you wear a hard hat a lot, I know Chad does. Chad, regular guest on the show, and like, he wears a hard hat every day. Does fire sprinkler work, commercial, like he's on a lift, always wearing a hard hat. Chad, listen up, dude. And anybody that cares that also wears a hard hat or even occasionally wears a hard hat. Those Milwaukee Bolt hard hats are
helmet. Yep.
These things are legitimate comfortable. For a hard hat, it's surprisingly nice. Now, I have not worn it for an 8 or 10 hour workday.
Right.
I have worn it a few times. I have like last year's model. They changed it a little bit. The new ones are nicer.
Yep.
But that suspension system in there, like, it keeps your head cool. You're not sweating like crazy, and it doesn't feel like you got these crisscross freaking canvas straps on your head that are pulling your hair out. You know what I mean? Like, nice.
There was one of the demos that we did. It was the rebar cutter, where that station, in order to use the tool, you had to have the face shield on and the earmuffs. And so they had that Bolt helmet there, right? This was not the full brim. Had the ear pro built into it, had the flip down visor on it. And I just remember like putting the helmet on, putting my gloves on, whatever. And we're making this cut on this thing and getting done. And I put the tool down and I look at you and I'm sitting there having this conversation and I'm like, why do I sound so weird?
You're still wearing it.
And I still got the face shield down, right? And I'm like, I have like literally no loss of vision. Like, there's nothing in your vision that gives you the indication that you actually have a face shield on.
It's like
that was the most baffling part about that. And I don't want to like totally geek out on it because it's like, oh, it's a helmet. But I'm like serious. I've worn face shields before. They freaking suck.
Oh, the amount of airflow that's behind that face shield because of how it's designed. And remember the old style that just had like the two little cleats that would click into the side of your crappy hard hat, and like they were wonky. So like you'd lift it up, but like one side would kind of stick. So they're always crooked. They're always like wonked out, and like one side had to be tightened, and like they had these
you use both hands to put it up.
Yeah. Yep. And I had the same thing for my weld. So I used to do a lot of welding on power plants and ethanol plants and stuff like that. And so I had to wear a hard hat welding helmet. And I had the same freaking problem with that. So I wonder if they're going to go down that route, like a welding attachment for that, because that would make a lot of sense for that Bolt system. It's really nice. I think if the first glance, I think this is probably an opinion shared by a lot of listeners that pay attention to this, have seen this product line and stuff like that. I'm glad you brought it up because I've never really talked about it. My first impression when I started seeing these, like, they have those goggles that come down. It's not a full face shield, but it's eye protection. And like, they look like you're going to go, Top Gun pilot, you can insert this or that. It's kind of a joke in a sense, but it's like, that was my first impression. It's like, whoa, this is pretty intense stuff.
Yeah.
Is it kind of funny? Are people going to adopt this? And then you try it on, you're like, yeah, I want this. Like, I don't want to wear a face shield, but I have to because I'm grinding, and this is the face shield I want. Like, I don't want any other face. Like, I'd rather wear that helmet with the face shield than even if I didn't need the helmet. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
It was that comfortable.
It was that comfortable. I like I said, that whole product line, the more we talked about it, we went and talked with the product manager on that. And then we went away. I don't remember if we had lunch or something. We ended up back in that area and had a little bit of time to really play around with those products, and that the full brim line was what they were releasing this go around. But there's one of the face shields that mounts on the, I don't remember what Milwaukee calls it, but they have a helmet light that snaps on the front of the brim. There's a handful of accessories.
It's just a Bolt headlight, I think is what it is.
So this visor mounts on that bracket, and it has just a little single finger, like locked, unlocked. It was crazy because, like, in a lot of cases, I mean, a lot of us are out there in the field should have a helmet on or a hard hat. And like you say, you're grinding, I got to cut this thing, and then I'm not going to cut anything for an hour, right? Well, you don't want a visor or a face shield sticking out in front of you, and you don't want to have to go over and swap helmets just because you're going to now go cut. And so inherently, that's going to lead you to not wear a face shield.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Forego the PPE because it's inconvenient.
But it literally is a switch. Click, take the visor off, set it on back on the cutting station. You know, if your whole crew is outfitted with this style of hard hat or helmet, you could grab that face shield. Anybody could snap it on, hit the lock button, boop, do your cut. When you're all done, flip the thing back up, unlock, take it off, and
you were able to do it without looking at it, like while you're wearing it. And it was the first time you'd ever even touched the helmet. Like, that's how simple and intuitive it was. Yeah, it's a good system. I mean, they have it. You know what's also really neat, honestly, is if you were working outside, they have those like neck capes.
Yeah.
You know, it goes out the back of the helmet to cover your neck and some of your shoulder a little bit.
Yep.
That's genius, actually.
And
again, I'm going to be honest. When I first saw it, I thought, that's kind of weird. That's kind of lame. Like, are people actually going to wear that? And then I'm trying it on. I'm going, yeah, I probably would only wear it. If I worked outside, there's no chance it wouldn't be on my helmet because it was so useful. It blocks. It's got UV rating. It literally blocks the sun off your neck and shoulders and back. And so, like, or a little bit, you know, just so you're just not exposed. And that's a real benefit, safety benefit. It'll keep you from becoming more dehydrated, and obviously sun protection is positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So I don't know. What was your takeaway? What was the
I think a lot of the products are really cool. I think one of the most impressive looking products at this year at Pipeline is that conduit bender. I didn't spend a lot of time watching the demos, or even I didn't try one, but I watched enough of the demo going, this is like, you teach somebody how to use this tool. I think you have to have the basic knowledge of how to bend conduit because your measurements and stuff matter, obviously.
Yeah, layout's gonna
your
be
layout and you have to understand the math. But the math is done for you in a sense. Like, you have to know the very beginning of each of those steps. But punching a couple buttons on a tool that's going to then produce what looked to me like a perfect bend in every scenario that they were showing.
Yeah.
That's an efficiency like boost for your crew. Like right there. As long as you know how to use that tool is going to increase performance.
Yeah.
And I know there's automated conduit benders out there, but they're like big giant machines. Usually they don't typically see too many that are made for smaller conduit that are just handheld and carry around. Like this thing, they have a stand for it, but you could set that thing on the floor if you had to and like quickly roll out a couple bends and be like, look at how nice that was, you know?
I was pretty impressed when we were watching that demo, watching him just literally be like, okay, I'm done. Grab the tool, boop, pick it up, grab the handle of the stand, and the thing self-folds and like walks off. And the entire setup in one piece in each hand. And you're out.
I mean,
that's not
stand, what do you think that stand weighs? Like 20 pounds, maybe? Like it's a little like it's like a tri-vise, but it's like that. It's like one of those
like a post vise. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it didn't have a top on it. The tool sat on the top of it. Yeah, it was really cool. And then I won't, I think there's a lot of cool stuff. I always am impressed by anything that's related to pack out. We saw the rack system. It's nice. Very expensive. Nice. I mean, it's a start, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's perfect yet. We have a podcast about that. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
The snowblower is exciting to me because I just think that the expansion of OPE on these batteries that we're using every day, like to me, that thing seemed really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And if it's as good as it, like they were trying to display it in 90-degree heat or whatever the temperature was. So they're using wet sawdust, like cut,
like bedding chips, like you'd see at the petting zoo.
Yeah. Like the quarter by quarter kind of chip wood, right? Yeah. Not big, thick, like landscape bedding or anything like that. I couldn't make the tool stall out, and I gave it a go.
Right.
I gave it a shot. I pushed that thing into that wet, almost foot deep like 8 inches deep of sawdust. Like you pushed it, right? Did you
Yeah.
feel like it was like, this thing's got some serious power?
I was baffled because I mean, for hand tool type, battery powered tools, we've all been there where we've had that tool that you're like, that was lackluster.
Yeah.
Where's this, can you disable the safety feature? This thing was like, you pull it on and start plowing into snow or into that sawdust chip. And I was like, holy crap, this is like borderline. I mean, it's impressive.
If it performs that way with snow, which I have no
Yeah.
reason to believe it won't, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
the unit, there's a couple things. It's not cheap. It's not
No,
cheap. It's
no.
over $1,000. I think it was under 1,500. How much was it?
It was $14.99, I think.
Yeah, it's $1,500.
And that was $1,500. That's a package with two 12-0 Forge batteries.
Yeah, it's a kit. And they aren't going to sell it as a bare tool, not yet at least. Because they want it to run on. They want it to go out with those batteries.
Yeah,
the tools obviously it's their biggest, baddest. It's the battery that's going to set that thing up to actually perform.
Right.
It does hold 4 batteries. It runs on 2 batteries, so it's not 18 volt. Let's just be honest, 36 volt. That's fine. Doesn't matter. I just wish they would say that kind of stuff. In Milwaukee, look, we have a great relationship. I'm not afraid to say that. I think they should be transparent about that. Anyway, it was impressive. I don't need to go on and on about it. We don't even have it. I hope that I am able to get my hands on one here at home and use it. I already have a use for it. I mean, being in a cold climate, that should be obvious. But like, I plow my driveway. My driveway is about 150 feet long. Just from the house, then there's a driveway that goes back to the shop. That's another 100 feet or so. Like, it's not a small area. And I have a plow on my truck. Makes it super nice and easy. Yeah. I'm not pretending this is hard work by any means. But it's up by the house. It's the sidewalk, that kind of stuff that, you're shoveling. And I could use the exercise, but there are days where I don't want it because it's like the heaviest, crappiest snow, or it's, 1 billion degrees below zero, that kind of thing.
Right.
The snow, that's where I'm going to use it. If I get my hands on the thing, I'm going to use it to clear my sidewalk up by the house, clean up my path over to the shop, that kind of thing. And it just looks to me like, it's not like, oh, and this is going to be nice. It looks to me like, I want that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? It looks like a serious tool. I'm going to be able to put to use immediately once the snow starts falling.
Right.
And I think there's going to be some contractors out there that are doing, snow plow, all that kind of snow removal. Like, this is the kind of tool where a battery really shines because it's, you keep those batteries in the plow vehicle so they're not frozen on the coldest night. Yep. And all of a sudden you got to go around, loading dock, staircase and all that kind of crap. Whatever. This is going to, pull it out of the back of the pickup truck. It doesn't weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
That's what was surprising to me is I don't know what I wonder if it pulls up, but it was surprisingly light.
Yeah.
Like almost like, wow. Is there like an attachment to this that, what's going on here? This is kind of strange. I'm just going to look up a spec real quick and see, but I was very surprised at what the weight, assembled weight, 90 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. And now,
I mean,
this is in comparison
it's not 40 pounds, it's heavy.
Right. But this is in comparison to your gas powered, 7 to 10 horsepower single stage, right? That's probably going to be 150 pound snowblower. This is not like the little tiny Honda 12-inch snowblower, right? This thing is, I mean,
what's the clear path? What's the width on it?
Yeah, I was just going to see if it popped up on here. 21-inch.
I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not even reading any specs. I'm not recalling anything that these salespeople from Milwaukee told me. Right. I'm going to tell you that after 48 years of living on this planet in the state of Minnesota, where we had the Halloween blizzard of 1991, over 3 feet of snow. Okay. Yeah. I have lived in winter for the majority of my life, by the way, because it's like 7 months here. So snow removal is a real thing in my life. I'm not saying it isn't in your life, Andy, or anybody else listening. I'm going to tell you straight up. That thing is going to push out 6 inch. It's going to take a 6-inch snowfall, no problem. I'm just going to say it. It was like, it's not a dual stage snowblower, so don't expect it to like shoot it 800 feet and it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for. And they don't even pretend that's what it is.
Yeah. I will say this. So they were talking about the fact that it's like not self-propelled. And I was like, that kind of sucks. And I was reading through some of the specs while we were standing there, and he was starting to give us his demo. And I was like, oh, it's not self-propelled. So you're gonna have to like actually really like shove this thing through the snow. You almost had to, like when you were in the deep snow or that deep bank of sawdust chips or whatever the heck it was, the bedding.
Yeah.
When you were in the deep section of it, you almost had to hold it back.
It wanted to climb it up. It wanted to like devour it.
Right. Like it was dragging itself into it. There wasn't a need to really get after it and shove it. And so playing around with it, moving back and forth, one of the things I guess I was most impressed about with it was the fact that it had it must have had some sort of rubber sweeper on the bottom. Because if you went back, like let's say you went through a section and you plowed it out, and anybody that's plowed any or snowblowed any snow, you blow a 21-inch wide path, 2 or 3 inches on each side falls into it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I went back, played with, like what's this like to actually clear a section? Had no issue at all clearing sawdust from dry concrete, right?
Yeah.
And we're not talking like sawdust, like fine, powdery, dry sawdust. This was
where like the
hosed down.
Action, it would just blow it away. Yeah.
Right. No, this was hosed down, wet. Like when we were shoveling it around, it was heavy. It wasn't lightweight.
Yeah, it was an impressive display for to show how much power it had, and they put it up against that single stage gas model.
Yeah.
No idea who made it. Doesn't matter. They spray paint them. I don't know my snowblowers in that sense, but
yeah.
I mean, they clogged that thing up right away. They're like, see how crappy it is? I'm like, okay, yeah, of course. Of course it's crappy and yours is better. That's how this whole event works, right? But I was impressed by it.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. I saved it for last. I honestly think I walked away from the event thinking there are so many impressive innovations coming out of that company all the time.
Yeah.
But I've been waiting for this snowblower, so I was kind of I think my opinion was kind of already like I was already waiting, wanting to see it. I think I'm already thinking highly of it, but then I got my hands on it. I'm like, this thing's pretty
freaking cool.
And by the way, it's just a snowblower. It's not like I don't need it for my job or anything, but I want it at my house.
Yeah. But to be honest, I mean, if you were if you had a construction site, right? And you were like, I'm the guy that shows up and opens the Connex in the morning and gets the job trailer lights on and the heater on and starts, clearing the construction site ready to go. This right here, this snowblower would be amazing for clearing flooring, like subfloors after snow. Can you imagine being able to walk through your job site like that and just go be like, bloop, snow's gone.
I wasn't even thinking about any of that. Dude, you're so dead on. The guy that has to show up to that remote outdoor site where you got the Connexes and welders are going to be here in 3 hours. We got to, you got to get this thing ready to go. You could actually clear some workspace outside on the ground and or you're saying like subfloor, like in framing and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't need 2 people to lift it. I mean, maybe you do depending on your physical ability, but 90 pounds isn't the worst thing in the world. I can think of a few tools that are more than 90 that I don't want to lift around, but this thing, it wasn't bad. I lifted it up a couple times. I thought it was okay.
Yep.
Useful.
Yeah.
Anyway, we weren't going to talk about just this the whole time, but now we're at 30 minutes, so we're
whatever. I'm gonna put one more in there.
Okay.
I have no use.
Well,
for
this is the Milwaukee Pipeline podcast
episode.
Here we go.
Yeah, I have no real use for it. The MX Fuel backpack blower.
Oh my God.
Was like, holy crap. I literally have no use for something like that. I have the single battery, whatever the second
the
or third
regular
gen.
handheld blower. Yeah.
Yeah. Single battery M18 blower works great for my needs. I have no need for anything further than that. That backpack blower was comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
Like once you got the backpack strapped on, and we didn't have Ear Pro on, and I had no problem talking to you
I
in the
couldn't
same
even.
room as the two of us were running the two blowers.
You could face each other with it on full power,
Yeah.
and you don't, like, you could have a conversation like we're having right now.
Right.
You would not have to. You wouldn't have to yell, like, even raise your voice, maybe, because my immediate reaction was,
Huh.
this is comfy, and oh my, is it running? Like, I looked at the speed. I'm like, am I on all the way high? Because this thing's so quiet, I don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah.
But
It was
don't
freaking
confuse
nice.
quiet with power, because the thing was, it felt like it had plenty. You could feel the push on the wand, on the
Yeah.
tube, like as you're holding it in your hand on that joystick. Like, you could feel the force. Like, you had to hold it in place. That's how powerful
Right.
it was.
Yeah. I was, like I say, and no use for it, but it was definitely impressive.
I think anybody looking at these MX Fuel stuff, I think the people that are looking at it, considering it for the business, they're obviously going to pay close attention, because this stuff is not inexpensive.
No.
Like, none of their MX Fuel tools they're not going to compare to an 18-volt tool for price, because they aren't doing the same job. And,
no, or gas powered for that matter. I mean, the gas powered stuff is, a lot of that, I don't know.
it's really,
I guess,
honestly, gas powered blowers and stuff, they're cheap as heck because they're imported. They're just really, they're made of the lowest common denominator product. Like,
yep.
they're not super high quality. Some of them, you know what I mean? Like, the
Well,
lower,
they're definitely not
cost,
quiet.
they're not quiet. This thing was, you could use it inside and people wouldn't complain. Like, that's how quiet it was. Like, it's
Right.
what? This is
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the MX Fuel stuff it's interesting to see it unfold. And I've only got a experience with a couple of the tools personally, and I can say that I've made the statement more than once, and with complete honesty, like, my handheld core drill, it's MX Fuel. It's the
Okay.
handheld model. It'll drill up to 6 inches. It's gets a little raggedy when you get about above 4 inches on a handheld drill, but it works.
Yeah.
It works really well. So a lot of cool technology built into that thing. After having drilled probably about 100 holes with that thing, that's a lot of holes. I can say with confidence that this is the nicest tool that I have ever used from Milwaukee. Like, it is,
Right.
it is noticeably different in the engineering, like the technology, the quality, the material, everything about it is like, this is, and I'm not saying that Milwaukee's other tools aren't nice. It
Right.
stands, it stands on its own as like, this is impressively nice compared to the rest of their tools. So I think that whole lineup, if you have a use for it, you're going to really pay attention, because, you're investing some dollars in some battery tools that, you got to consider, that's a bigger purchase. Like that core drill, it's like $2,500 or something. Like, it's in that price point. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
That's, you can go on Amazon and buy a cheap corded imported core drill for a few $100s.
Right.
Not the same thing is what I'm trying to say.
Yep. I just, because I had it up on Acme Tool when I was looking earlier at the snowblower. So that backpack blower on high speed mode is 800 CFM, which is a staggering amount of air. That's a tremendous amount of air.
Yeah.
190 mile per hour nozzle velocity, and has a sound level of 64 decibels.
Yeah, circular saw 70, I think.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So
think about that.
Yeah, regular gas powered blower is probably approaching 100 decibel.
I think that and every time you go up 10, it doubles the intensity that you perceive with decibels. That's a weird kind of wrap your mind around that.
Yeah.
You go up 10 decibels, the intensity of the sound that your ears are, like how you perceive that sound is it doubles the intensity. Like, that's powerful. What did you say it was? 65?
64.
64?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, like, it doesn't seem like that, because the sound is projected behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what was so impressive. Like, when you turned around and I was facing, like, the back of you and you're running it, yeah, I mean, it was a little louder.
A little louder, but yeah.
But, yeah, it was cool. All right, so this was the Milwaukee Pipeline
Milwaukee
episode.
Pipeline. So 3 weeks in a row, you got it.
Yeah,
It was
we might
a
have to
thing.
space them out. It was impressive. I'm super thankful that you went there. You guys, if you haven't already seen it, I think by the time this airs and everything, we should have some Milwaukee interviews in there. We talked to Wes Thomas about the workwear because Milwaukee's made some huge investment into that area. You and I both walked away with a couple of garments that we weren't planning on leaving with, and we were very impressed by them. The pants. You know what? I haven't talked about the pants on all my social, and I need to start talking about them because I've been wearing for a couple months now in place of my because I've been a long time True Work fan. Their tech pants are, in my opinion, I'm going to say it, Andy. Should I say it?
Sure.
I think they're a True Work killer. Is that a right way to state that?
No.
Is it too controversial? I'm not trying to be controversial here.
Listen, I'm right there with you. I put them on, and I'll just say it this direction. On the day of the show, right, I had a pair of cool khaki pants or whatever they were, like a ripstop, lightweight pants, in my backpack or in my bag. That's what I brought with me. And in our whatever swag box was a pair of pants. I pulled them out, and I was sitting there, Thursday morning going, oh, whatever, getting ready to go, and I like, whatever, I'll put these on. And I put them on. I'm like, oh, these are pretty nice.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, getting my stuff ready to go, and I'm wearing these pants, and I was just kind of like, I was like, how hot are these going to be?
Yeah.
Right. Like, how warm am I going to be in these pants? Is this going to be a thing where I'm like, these are too hot and I'm going to be uncomfortable all day?
Yeah. Milk was a bad choice, kind of. Yeah.
Exactly.
Realization later on.
Yep. And so I'm wearing them around the hotel room, and I'm like, these are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Comfy. Pretty nice. And I'm like, I didn't bring a belt. The cool pants that I had aren't going to fall down. They're not as heavy.
Yeah.
Per se. I literally wore those Milwaukee pants from, what time did we go down to breakfast? 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And I think we got back to the hotel probably 11-ish
that night,
10:30 or 11. And I was totally fine. I didn't have a belt on the whole day.
I have to wear
pulled
a
them
belt
up a couple of times.
Yeah.
But
I have to wear a belt with mine when I'm working. So I think I'm going to predict that you need to as well when you're working.
Probably should. Yeah.
Great fabric.
But I wasn't. Yeah. Didn't get hot. Great pockets.
Super stretchy. I think if you're in Texas, these are going to be too hot for you. That's my prediction. Florida. I don't know that you're going to love these, to be honest with you. And that's not a dig on the product at all.
If you're wearing jeans to work right now, like I'm just going to say it. If you're wearing jeans, Carhartt, some sort of cotton duck fabric, these are going to be way, way, way nicer than what you're wearing currently.
Yeah. If you're in the plumbing, HVAC, electrical, like, I don't think if you're doing, undergrounds and stuff, like maybe these aren't the best. Like, this kind of fabric doesn't love oils and things like that. And most don't. But it's a polyester blend, super fabric kind of thing. Look, I'll say this regarding if you're wearing jeans or, Carhartt, duck, stop. Just stop. You are. There have for over 10 years been way better alternatives with this new workwear.
Yeah.
This is not space. This is not, weird stuff. This is intentionally designed for you to be more comfortable, which translates into things like safer.
Yep.
You will have more energy at the end of the day because of these types of fabrics. Believe it or not, that's not a bold statement. There is truth and science behind that and design. Like these things are made so that we have a better time on the job. And you and I have been wearing like the True Work stuff for years. And if you don't know anybody, if you don't know about that, it's like this 4-way stretch fabric, all this stuff. And it's so ridiculously durable.
Right.
I think I've ripped a hole in exactly 1 or 2 pair of True Works ever in my life.
And the ones that I have, I would say I'm in the same category there. the ones that I have ripped were like, I got hung up on a piece of metal in a bad place.
Oh, yeah.
And would have ripped any fabric that I was wearing. And was bummed that that was what it was. But in the process of ripping the thigh out of my pants, they did their job and didn't allow whatever it was to rip the thigh out of my leg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and they don't
like,
continue to rip and stuff too. So like even just like a small hole, if you're unfortunate, like mine have both mine that I can think of have been like pretty, like they were repairable. That's how small they were. You know what I mean? Like I could just kind of get them on the sewing machine and you know what I mean? But they don't continue to rip and stuff like that. Yeah. Whatever. Gosh.
I digress.
Dude, we're 40 minutes in.
I know.
We're not even going to talk about the employee handbook that you just crafted.
I know.
It's a teaser for another episode.
Next.
All right. Well, thanks for going, dude. I appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode and any others. Share it with your friends. Give us a rating on your podcast app, please. It's been a little while. We need some more ratings on there.
There you go.
I'm just going to beg for them every time.
It's fine. It's fine.
Doesn't bother me.
I'm not too proud.
No. I appreciate it. We as in Andy and I and everybody at Mechanical Hub appreciate you listening and sharing this and rating us. Love it.
Yep.
All right, dude. Take it easy.
Cool. See ya.